Hello, welcome back to Mark's House and Garden UK. I'm back in my arid desert gravel garden and I'm about to plant this plant on my left, your right, which is a Yucca Rostrata. This is one of the plants that I've bought for this gravel bed. The others include these agaves here. And over there's a Cycas revoluta, and I've got a couple of sort of triolos here. Behind me is Trachycarpus fortunei. I've done a video on Trachycarpus fortunei already. I'll link to it at the end of this one. I'm about to do videos on the agave and the Cycas revoluta, and I'll link to those at the end of this video as well. But today's video is about the Yucca Rostrata. Let's get those out of the way. Now, I don't profess to being an expert on arid desert gravel plants. So, as usual, I've gone away and done a little bit of research, and I've put together a fact file, and I'll print all that up in the description box below this video. And I'm going to share it with you in this video whilst I plant that yucca in the ground here. So I'll be sharing that information whilst I do the job. Now, a bit of a warning. A lot of these arid desert plants have very sharp, spiky leaves. So I'm going to say to you up front, get yourself some good gloves. These are thorn-proof gardening gloves. I'll put the link to those in the description box below this video. If you buy them through my Amazon link, I do receive a commission. I think they're worth their weight in gold. I've also got some safety goggles here, which I will be wearing when I handle this plant, because I've already spiked my finger on it. I've got my large hoe. I've got my long handle Irish spade. I've also got some long bits of cloth, which I'm going to use to make this safe before I start handling it. Now, this is not native to the UK. It's native to the USA, places like Texas, where it's incredibly hot, and also Mexico. So we're going to try and replicate those conditions here in the UK. It's going to be difficult because we never get the sun and the heat that they get in Texas and Mexico, but we can come close. And this plant is incredibly hardy. It's H5 on the RHS website, which means it can tolerate temperatures down to -10 to -15 centigrade, which is actually quite cold. It likes to be in a very sunny position, which is why I'm planting it here, on this corner, which is actually both south facing and west facing, which is what it likes. Now, when you're trying to replicate desert conditions, clearly you're going to try and replicate heat and drainage. You can see what I'm doing here, it's pretty obvious. I'm trying to make these spiky leaves safe by just wrapping them in this cloth before I start to even dig the hole. They are lethal. I should have my gloves on, actually. I've started doing this without my gloves on, which is a stupid thing to do. So I'm going to do that straight away. Plumber with leaky pipes. I have the gloves and I've not used them. I've got mine on now. Don't come running to me if you start handling these plants and you end up cutting yourself, because they are quite sharp. So just tighten that up a little bit. You can see the effect that's having. Now, this plant has this lovely rosette of leaves, very spiky leaves, up to 100 of them at the top. And it creates an almost very spherical appearance. And it also creates this chunk here at the bottom. As it grows, you cut the dead leaves off the bottom and you end up with a chunk. And that chunk, believe it or not, can grow up to 4 metres. I don't know whether we'll ever get 4 metres in the UK. I'm going to undo this one and then reapply it up at the top there so that it's bringing those spikes together. So let's do that now. Spread 1.5 metres to 2.5 metres. So again, be aware that in the right conditions, this can become quite a big plant. And you have to always take into account the ultimate dimensions of a plant when you buy it and put it in your garden. Now, those dimensions, height and spread, and when it's in its ideal conditions. I don't know whether we'll ever get that in the UK because we're never going to get the heat. I feel a bit safer now. I feel I'll be able to manage that. Now I've got a pipe running across the garden there. Be aware of pipes, cables, water pipes, and it's going to go here, off that pipe. These pieces of slab here, which are actually, believe it or not, interesting fact, these are actually from inside storage radiators when I replace them in my house, but they're brilliant for edging. They're going to come out and that gravel is going to run through seamlessly. So I need a hole here. The hole is not going to be as deep as that pot. A piece of advice for gravel, desert, arid plants is they never want to be wet. So you don't want to plant the crown of the plant underneath soil level. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig a hole about 2/3 the size of that pot, so that the base of this plant protrudes above the ground, so that come winter time, when it gets cold, that will have very free drainage. So let's start digging around about here a hole. I'm using my long-handled Irish spade. I want it central between the wall and the trachycarp, so here is about the spot. Now, she'll dig the hole. I've got the pot quite near me so I can see approximately. What's wonderful about this soil is it's very free draining. I have about 1 foot of topsoil, then beneath that I have pure sand, so my soil is never watered. Also, I'm on the top of a hill, so the fact that it's south and west facing and very well drained is perfect for this plant. It might not tolerate very exposed conditions, very windy conditions, but come the winter time I can always wrap it like that with a piece of horticultural fleece, and we'll consider that at a later date. So let's get digging. I'm not going to enrich the soil. I'm not going to put any compost in. I'm going to bring the camera in a bit closer now and you'll be able to see this sand that I'm digging out of here. So as you'll start to see now as I take this soil out, you'll start to see this kind of orangey colour, which is the sandiness, which means it's very well drained, and that's ideal. So we shall dig an appropriately sized hole here. I always think it's a good idea to have slightly sloping sides on any hole you're planting into, because it's easier to backfill the soil. I'm just going to do a bit of a sense check on this hole by kind of measuring it, and that is about right. I'm going to level the bottom of that hole because the bottom of that pot is level, but that is about right. That plant will be slightly elevated above ground level when it's in there. I've still got the issue now of getting it out of that pot without damaging either myself or the plant. I need to put my goggles on, safety goggles, and then I'm going to get something to lean this onto so I can knock that pot off the bottom of it. I'm hoping that will do the trick. I'm hoping now to be able to kind of lean the trunk onto there and then knock it off with a hammer. Tough coat. This is actually a motorbike jacket, goggles, gloves. Let's see what we can do. I want to do no damage to the plant, minimal damage at the very most. Let's see if we can kind of lean that on there. Now I'll get my hammer. Let's see if we can. I just realised there's a couple of pieces of wood in here which are actually keeping it in place, so it's buried underneath the soil surface. I need to get those out. One thing is certainly true with my videos is that you certainly get to see things, warts and all, because I'm always learning on the job. So it's actually nailed in, so I've got my pincers and I shall just use them to remove the nail on the side there, and then hopefully that piece of wood there, which was nicely buried under the soil, will reveal itself. So here we go. Out comes the nail. Quite a long one. And now out comes the piece of wood. No job in the garden is ever straightforward, is it? But you get there in the end. I'm going to tie this back on. This is for the protection of the leaves and also my protection. So there we go, that's on again. So we'll have another go now at extricating this plant from this pot. Put my hammer down over there. So, on it goes. Hold it down and give it a whack. And this time we have success. Nice roots, really nice roots on that. I'll bring the camera in and show you those roots. Actually, they're very healthy, and hopefully you can see that that's got a lovely set of roots on it. Well, it's thick roots. Sometimes when you buy plants like this, you worry that they've just been sort of dragged out of the ground. I'm just removing these weeds that are on the top. That's the name. Bought this from Knowbridge, which is a wonderful garden centre if you ever get the chance to go and visit Knowbridge. Now I'm going to offer this up to this hole here and see how it sits relative to the lie of the land. It's quite heavy. Using my knees. That is about perfect, so that when I backfill with the soil that I'm about to do, it will be slightly raised here, mounded slightly. So we'll do that next. I'm just going to remove these whilst I'm close up to it, and once I've got this protection on, I'm just going to remove these bits of polythene that were placed on there by the garden centre I bought it from. Yeah, Knowbridge is an amazing place. It's down in Staffordshire, and David there is a real expert on all things horticultural. Who's been doing it donkey's years. Right, so the soil now is going to get raked back in. I just want to make sure that this trunk is vertical. Good tip when you're making sure something is vertical is not to stay close up like this. Step away, have a look from a distance. That way you'll get a better idea from several sides. Perhaps a little bit like that. Right, so we'll just get a bit of soil in there just to stabilise it. And now I'm going to use my large hoe just to drag soil back around that root ball. Right there to that. This soil, very gritty, very well drained, very sandy. Lots of gravel in it already. Just gently firm that down. So there it is, Yucca Rostrata planted. Now just to reiterate, with a lot of plants that I plant, I dig a donut-shaped indentation around the base so that the water goes down and stays around the base of the plant where the new roots can grow. With this I've done exactly the opposite. I've mounded it up so that the water runs off. This one can go down to -15, but not cold and wet together. So I want the wet to run off. There's a little worm, you can go over there in that fresh up. Final interesting fact before I say goodbye. Oh, and don't forget, all the tools are available as links in the description box, as is my fact file on this plant. But final interesting fact before I do the big reveal and remove these bands. The leaves of this plant, the more sun it gets, the bluer they go, and that's because the plant produces its own form of sun protection, which is kind of a blue colour. There we go. Want to see it unveiled? Let's do it. Let's remove these cloth protectors. And there it is. Yucca Rostrata. I'll be doing another video on the agaves and the Cycas revoluta, and you'll find those linked at the end of this one when I've done. See you soon for some more arid gravel gardening. Bye for now.